Hey folks, got a battle for you against this guy that I met on Smogon. I want to take a minute to stand up for this guy because he's been put wrongly, in my opinion, on the Smogon Wi-Fi blacklist for using hacks without letting his opponent know, to which I say, okay, he has in his signature that he uses unreleased Dreamworld abilities. How are you supposed to use unreleased Dreamworld abilities without hacking? So, kind of seems strange to me that it was put on the Wi-Fi blacklist, but whatever. Okay, so anyway, down to the actual battle. I lead off with Donphan, and he's going to go ahead and U-turn first turn, which is going to break my sash, and considering how, sturdy, not sash, and considering how much damage he does, I figure he must be banded. I mean, that's an amazing amount of damage against such a, physical Donphan, physically defensive Donphan. Anyway, set of my Stealth Rocks. He sends out his Karakasa, and I know that this guy can probably KO me pretty easily, but I want to get off some damage against him, because I'm thinking that he's going to Shell Smash. Turns out this is actually a cursing set, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an issue. So anyway, he's now at +1 attack and +1 defense, and I'm just hoping, so he's got the leftovers too, so I'm not 100% sure that this Earthquake is going to take him out, but I'm hoping. So I go ahead and do it, and he survives with just a minuscule amount of HP, which is so sad. And now he's going to go for the Aqua Tail, and that is going to take out my Peanut, which is really sad. Although I guess, Peanut at least did something more than set up Stealth Rocks this turn, and it doesn't look like he's going to set up Stealth Rocks on his end, so, its spinning needs are not necessary this time around. I'm going to go ahead and send out my Kit, my Sigalith, and I'm, based on advice from Jade Hex, I'm going to try something new. Now, this was actually a really stupid move. Had he gone for the Rock Slide, he could have probably KO'd me in one hit, although this is physically defensive, Sigalith. So maybe not, I don't know, maybe I should do the calcs. Anyway, this is a phaser, the first phaser I think I've ever run. It goes for the Whirlwind, and now he's off the screen, and he sends out his Escavalier sent out, which at first might seem like a bad thing for me, but you know what, it actually kind of isn't. I go ahead and set up the Tailwind. I actually should have reversed the order of my next two moves. That was actually kind of stupid, as I'll show you in a second. Anyway, he goes ahead and Mega Horns me, does an amazing amount of damage, but I do in fact survive, and now I go for the Psycho Shift to get the burn onto his Escavalier, and so now that thing's kind of crippled because that thing's known for being a physical attacker, but had I done that first, I could have saved myself a lot of HP. Anyway, he goes ahead and takes me out, and now I only have one turn of Tailwind left. Or maybe it's 2 turns. Right, I think Tailwind had its length extended. Anyway, I go ahead and send out Starlooker. Seeing that he has no one on his team with a Fire-type immunity, I'm able to go for the Flame Charge to get my speed up. And, obviously I'm going to outspeed an Escavalier, especially with a Tailwind up. And I take it out, and that is awesome sauce. So yeah, Starlooker speed rises, Escavalier faints, and I should be faster than pretty much anyone on his team. So he sends out Braviary, and I know that I'm faster because I'm pretty sure that he's banded anyway, but now I'm at +1, +2 if you take into account the Tailwind. Actually, I think it's probably greater than +2, based on how Tailwind works. Anyway, I take out his Braviary with a Wild Charge, just didn't want to go for the less accurate Head Smash. I guess Head Smash and Wild Charge, are kind of redundant in that they both hit flying types for super effective moves. But, okay, so anyway, going into this battle, he sends out his Huron as the Tailwind peters out, and I really wish I'd had that extra turn of Tailwind, because he's going to go ahead and Draco Meteor me, which shows that he's almost certainly Scarfed. And that is going to take out my Starlooker in one hit, which is sad, and I just don't know what to do now. I go ahead and send out Angler, who's a special wall, and should be able to take, -2 Draco Meteor. He's going to go ahead and call back his Pokemon, which makes sense. I really should have predicted this a little bit better and not gone for the Ice Beam. So I go for the Ice Beam, which is going to be resisted de facto thanks to Thick Fat. He's going to recover almost as much HP with leftovers. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Scald here and just hope for the burn, because that's my only hope of really doing anything against the Snorlax. He goes ahead and curses, and this is another cursing set. It's kind of strange to have 2 cursors on your team, and so this is really no good for me. and I really maybe should consider switching Angler out. But no, I really want that burn hacks. I really want that thing burned. And unfortunately, I don't get it. He goes for the body slam, and speaking of, hacks, he goes ahead and gets the freaking crit. And poor Angler, I think this is the second battle in a row where it's died to a crit. And it's just so lame. And I really wish I'd kept it around because it was my only thing that really stood a chance of walling that QRM. But oh well. I have Cthulhu use Sleep Powder with the idea that if I put it to sleep, then it can't put itself to sleep and recover back its health. Anyway, it goes for another curse. And I think I just am going to go for the Sleep Powder again. Recover some health with leftovers. Sleep Powder here. Maybe I should be editing. I really wish I could figure out how to selectively edit sections of my battle to be faster. I just don't know of a good way to do it with my editing software. It's probably easier with Camtasia or whatever y'all folks use, Sony Vega. I don't know. Anyway, I put it to sleep. He decides to stay in. I go for the Power Whip here, which does a pretty big chunk. Oh, I guess I got the crit. So yeah, all my complaining about crits earlier, I'm sorry. But that was a really nice crit there, and I'm really glad I took him out. Anyway, he sends out his Superior, which is almost certainly the one that's got the unreleased Dream World ability in Perversity, to which I say, okay, fine, we're playing UU, but all the tiers say that, or rather the Pokemon Online tiers, which are the only ones that do tiers for unreleased Dream World abilities, say that Perversity Superior is OU, not UU, so for a UU match, you really shouldn't be bringing it, in my opinion. But oh well. I take him out with a Hidden Power Ice, because that thing has no defenses to speak of. And I'm going to go ahead and regain some health. IZNOGUD, or IZSOGUD as he refers to himself here, sends out his QRM, and I'm going to go ahead and switch here to get back almost all of my health, thanks to Regenerator, and that's just the only hope I'm going to have of being able to take any attacks from this QRM. Anyway, he goes ahead and Ice Beams me, and I'm hoping I can survive. And indeed, I survive with 112 HP, but that's not enough for a final Gambit. Well, actually, no, I'm back to 203, so I'm thinking it might be enough for a final Gambit. Unfortunately, he switches, and I'm like, no! So anyway, he sends out his Wave Crusher. I go ahead and go for the final Gambit, and it's not even going to take out his Caracasta, but it is going to mean that I'm down an Accelgor, and that's just so sad. Anyway, yeah, gets a little bit of recovery there, and this is just not good for me. This battle is not going well. Anyway, he is still asleep. That actually was not a misclick with that Sleep Powder. I thought he was going to switch, but instead he decided to burn off a turn of sleep. And so now I should kind of explain what I'm doing here. Oh no, I'm back up to full HP, so never mind. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Power Whip here, but it misses, and I'm like, no! Why do you have to suck so hard? Why? And I'm just cranky. I'm just a cranky pants. By the way, I'm pretty sure Cthulhu is my last Pokemon at this point. I go ahead and go for the Earthquake, thinking, well, it's still 2x effective. Maybe I can take him out. Not so much, and he's going to go ahead and go for the Stone Edge here, and that's going to do a fair whack of damage. I'm down to 242 HP, 263 after leftovers, and even though I can easily take him out with another Earthquake, I'm going to go ahead and put him to sleep. I alluded to the strategy in the last battle I had. What the hell is with all these attacks missing? This is the worst hacks ever. I just don't know. Oh well, I'm whining a lot. But these are some really bad hacks. And so now I'm down to 181 HP, and, had I just gone for the power up, maybe I would have been better off. But my strategy here, as I told you the last time I was in a situation like this, is basically I want to recover as much HP as possible for his last Pokemon, which is QRM, and I want to be able to have the maximum amount of chance of surviving that attack. Oh, by the way, this battle happened right after, QRM was made borderline, so IZNOGUD apparently hadn't gotten the word, so I'm not too cranky about it, it is what it is, but just, heading up and running that QRM, I think I might have stood a better shot here. So, gonna go ahead and go for the 100% accurate Earthquake here and take out his Caracosta, and I'm just hoping that I've recovered enough HP that there might be a slim chance that I can survive an Ice Beam from a QRM. Expect a calc in the annotations to tell me just how silly that is. So anyway, this is going to be the game one way or the other. You know, if I survive, I should be able to get off a sleep powder and put him to sleep and hopefully do some damage. Anyway, but no, he takes me out with an Ice Beam, and that is good game. Sadly, this is going to be my last battle with this team. I'm retiring it. It just doesn't really work very well, and I've created a new UU singles team from scratch that works a bit better. So expect that battle up fairly soon, you know, the new team up fairly soon. I really like to see my teams out on a win. Couldn't really do that this time around, but oh well. I'm going to miss this team a lot, but hopefully I'll bring it back someday, maybe in a different incarnation. So anyway, so long, folks.